there, folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Now, I don't normally do sponsored videos. That's not my thing. Some people shooting off some guns in the background. Yeah, we're out in the country a little bit. People do things. Anyway, unless it's something that I really believe in, and I don't want to mislead or misguide any of the people that subscribe to my channel. This company reached out to me. Now, I tried to make sure I pronounce it right because I went to their website and I listened to them pronounce it on their videos, and it's JF EGWO. I think the W is silent. If it's not, it's EGWO. But anyway, JF EGWO, or EGWO, has this product. This is a 3,000 amp jump starter. A 3,000 amp hour jump starter, which I've used a few other jump starters in the past. I think I've had videos of using other jump packs in the past. This jump pack is just a little bit different. There may be others out there on the market that are similar. I haven't tried them. I'm just giving you the testimony on what I've witnessed with this particular one right here. The other thing that's a big advantage to this one is it is a power pack. It has two USB 10 amp. No, I'm sorry. There's a 5 volt 1 amp and a 5 volt 2.1 amp port. So you can charge up your phone, cell phones, your laptop, your tablet. You can power up a few things that way when you need it. It also has some lights on the side, which actually at night, if you're broke down and you need some light, here's a light for you. You can push and hold it, and it'll do SOS for you, or to just do strobe, try to catch somebody's attention. Push and hold again, turns it off. Pretty slick. The other super part about this that really got me intrigued and excited about this jump pack, it has an air pump. Now, you guys are telling yourself or asking yourself, well, who cares? I can get an air pump and plug it into my cigarette lighter and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's great. Do you have a cigarette lighter in your boat trailer? Do you have a cigarette lighter on your lawnmower? Do you have an air hose that reaches across your property so you can go put some air into your tire to get it back up to wherever? Or are you going out to a lean-to like this where you keep some vehicles and over the several years the tires just leak down and you want to air them back up? Here's your answer. Self-contained. So let's dive into this a little bit, and I'm going to show you what it's all about. I want to show you some of the stuff that comes with this. This is a 3,000. They have a 1,000, I think a 2,000, and a 3,000. I think there's one past that. The link's below. Go check out their website. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It comes, first and foremost, it comes with a nice carrying bag, right? That you can put it all in with their logo on it. JF EGWO. And then you got your nice set of jumper cables here that you can plug in so you can jump a vehicle. You also have a way to plug it into a cigarette lighter or a power outlet to charge it. It also comes with a 110 charger as well. It actually charges up pretty quick. I've used this one a little bit and charged it back up. We're going to run it through its paces today. I wouldn't do this without you guys witnessing what this thing can really do. I'm going to give you some honest feedback, and I'm going to tell you kind of how to use it a little bit, and we'll go from there. It also, these guys are thinking pretty good actually. This thing comes with a stainless steel, looks like a stainless steel wire brush, because guess what? When you've got a dead battery and you're going to jump it, it might be a little corroded and a little nasty. You want to be able to scrub that battery post off before you put your nice clean clips on there to get a good solid connection. Also inside this package, which I have not opened yet, I just now noticed it, I'll be completely honest with you, because I've been so focused on the unit itself, I haven't had a use for any of this other stuff just yet. Let's see what else they got here. It looks like, man, they got their little logo on there too. Oh wow, they got some really cool stuff in here. Let's see if I can get this open. I'm glad they gave me a little black bag to put it all in, so I don't lose it, because as my son would testify, nothing's ever lost with me. It's just severely misplaced for long periods of time. I have lost things for up to 2 years and discovered they were literally 6 foot under my desk and I never knew it was there. Wow, cool. Some seriously cool attachments for inflating stuff. A little needle for inflating basketballs, footballs, and stuff like that. So that's kind of handy to have. We'll stick that. The nice thing about this little bag, it's got several pockets with zippers on it, which is perfect for just stuff like that. All right, enough talk. Let's see what this thing can actually do, and let's see how well it performs. Now, one thing it does say here, on the inflation part of it, stop every 10 minutes to cool down the inflator for 5 minutes. So that would seem like that would be a real big problem if it took more than 10 minutes to air up a tire. Well, so far, I've aired up a tire 3 times. These are 15-inch tires, completely flat. I've aired them up 3 times, and each time it took well under 10 minutes. I'm going to show you us airing up a tire. I'm also going to show you some other things that you got to be careful of when you're airing up a tire. And the other thing I really like about this particular one, the 3000 amp, is you can set the pressure. This is no lie. You can set the pressure on your tire. So if you want to go to 35 pounds, you set it to 35. Turn it. Why is everybody driving by right now? Come on. None of these people have heard of mufflers. Anyway, you can set it to 35 pounds. It'll pump up to 35 pounds, and it shuts itself off automatically. You don't have to babysit this thing. And the nice thing about it is filling up a 15-inch tire in under 10 minutes, you don't have to worry about it overheating. So you can actually, I wouldn't recommend walking away from it in case something was to go wrong, but you don't have to sit there and babysit this thing. And I'm going to show you why. Let's get down here closer to the ground. I've got a flat tire here in this old yard Jeep. Yeah, we're out here. This is a boat motor, so for you guys that watch my videos for boat stuff and boat motor stuff, there's a boat motor right there. 120 horse Mer Cruiser. That's going to end up in my shop pretty soon, and we're going to see if we can make it run. It's a backup motor to my other motors. Back to the show. Yes, I have a little foam pad here because I don't want to get filthy doing this if I don't have to. On the back of this unit, there's a hose that comes out right out of the side here. And it's got 4 nice rubber feet. You can plop this thing right down onto. The other thing that comes in your bag is this extension. You can screw this straight onto a valve stem, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I'll say why. I'll tell you why. This little thing gets hot, very hot. And if you've got it screwed directly to your tire and it runs for 5 or 6 minutes inflating your tire, you won't be able to take this off right away because it gets hot enough that you don't want to touch it. So the JF EGWO people have also provided a very nice extension, which is nice because it'll get you some places. Especially this can lay right on the ground and it can get to the top of a wheel without any problem. Depending on where your valve stem rests, correct? And this doesn't get as hot. It'll get warm, but it won't get as hot. Cool part is, now this tire obviously is completely flat. I mean, stone cold flat, right? I'm going to get my phone out. We're going to time how long it takes. Now this has 100% charge on the side right here. Shows it right there. You don't want to, it says on there you don't want to start a battery charge, at least on their website I saw. You don't want to start, not a battery charge, start an inflation if the battery is less than 50%. So let's just see how many times we can inflate this tire from dead flat on one charge. And the other thing it does say here too is it says, do not jump start motors if charge is 25% or less. So, you know, it lets you go quite a ways down. Now this indicator here shows 100% fully charged. I charged it till it said the high thing stopped blinking. It's fully charged. And we're going to run it down until we're at the 50%, because this goes 100, 75, 50, I'm guessing 25. It doesn't go incrementally. It goes every quarter percent, however you want to look at it. You know, 25, 75, 100. 25, 50, 75, and 100. You know what I'm saying. Give me a break. All right, I'm going to set the timer here. And I'm going to set the stopwatch. I'm going to get it in here. Hopefully I can get it with the, I'm going to lean it right here. So right now this thing is on. The other thing I'm going to do, I got the tire pressure set to 35. Currently it's showing me 0 PSI. I'm going to hit start and start at the same time. There we go. 35 pounds of pressure. It just shut itself off automatically. There's what I was talking about. This joint gets a little hot. I'm not sure if this is picking up the 100% the temperature there. But it is way, way too hot to touch. Just a little black line here. It's showing 120 degrees there. It's really not. This little temp gauge ain't working good on this surface, whatever kind of material this is for some reason. Believe you me when I tell you, you don't want to be touching it. It's very hot. But yeah, under 6.5 minutes, popped up 35 pounds of pressure. And now you can just pop that off, and you can be on your way. Now, the reason I say this is so important, this is first time, right? And this still says, this just dropped down to 75% here. If you're ever out in your car, and you happen to walk out from the parking lot and notice your tire's about half flat, you don't want to keep driving it like that, because driving on a half flat tire can do a lot of damage to your sidewall. It could also cause your tire to overheat, and then it will just disintegrate on the highway and you have a blowout. If you look at the statistics, just about every car out there on the road, I don't know what the number is, but it's pretty high. Google it if you don't believe me. How many tires are underinflated that are on the road today? One out of 4 tires are usually underinflated. So anyway, so this is very handy. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to let the air out of this tire, and we're going to fill this tire up a couple more times until this thing goes down to 50% or below 50%, and then I'll stop. All right, we're going to go to the front tire on this here rig, and we're going to turn the power on. It's showing 0 pressure on the tire. I've still got this thing set at 35. See, it's blinking. All right. Alrighty, 35 pounds of air in that tire. She's ready to rock and roll again. So this started out, that took just over 7 minutes, just barely over 7 minutes. Now this started out when I undid the other tire, it was down to 75%. As soon as I plugged it into this tire, it was back up to 100 just from resting for 5 minutes, but then it dropped pretty quickly down to 75% again. But there again, it filled this tire all the way up to full pressure from stone cold flat, right? To 35 pounds of pressure. And I did check it with a gauge. It is fairly accurate with what that says on the digital meter, pressure-wise, to what the tire actually is at. So you can trust it, which is pretty sweet. So now it's at 50%. And from what I saw on the website, it said don't start filling up a tire if it is at less than 50%. Well, guess what? We're at 50%. I'm going to let this thing cool down for the 5 minutes it recommends doing, and then we're going to go back. We're going to let the air back out of that bad boy, and we're going to fill it up one more time. And we'll see what it gets down to when it's done, and see how long it takes. If we can still get it done in under the 10 minutes it recommends before you let the machine cool down. Alrighty, we're getting ready to go for the third inflate. When this got done with the last one, it's been resting for about 15 minutes now. When it got done with the last tire, this gauge was saying 50%. Now it's saying 75%. So we're going to go ahead and let her rip. Tater chip. Go! There you have it, 35 pounds of pressure. It just kicked off. And 7 minutes, 20 seconds. And that's at it starting off at 75%. It just now says 25%. It did say 50 and right before it clicked off, and now it says 25% on the side. Now, I'm really curious, and I'm as curious as you guys are, as to, okay, it's at 25%, and it says on there, don't jump with anything less than 25%, right? It says, do not jump motors if charge is 25% or less, So we're at 25%, so we can't jump anything right now. But that's fine. We've actually aired up 3 tires from completely flat to fully inflated, ready to go down the highway again. That's not too bad in my book. I think we'll go ahead and take it back inside, get it back up to full charge, and then we'll do some testing with the jump pack to see how well it jumps things. Alrighty, we're gonna try the jump pack now. And you guys might be asking, well, Michael, it's so dark, why don't you pull this outside? Well, it don't run. So, I know the battery's dead, the key was left on, the battery's been dead for 2 years now. So this should be a real good test. And the other thing I like about being in the dark here is we're going to try the lights out, because not always does your car need jump start in the broad daylight and a nice uncloudy day. So cool part is I'm going to go ahead and put the jump pack. There we go. They clip on really nice. They're really nice clamps. Then I'm going to open up the little starter port and plug it in. And this you can't plug in the wrong way. It can only plug in one way. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. And we're turned on. We're going to see if she'll turn over. Now I know the fuel pump on this thing is not hooked up, so this thing will just turn over. So what I'm going to do is turn it over for about 5 seconds at a time. We're 100% charged right now. Let's see if it does anything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, any normal car that just has a dead battery would have, easily started up in 10 seconds. So what I'm going to do is give this thing another 10 seconds. One more time here. It still says 100% on the charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, this thing whips it over like it's got a brand new battery in it. This thing's doing an amazing job. Okay, now it says 50%. That's 20 seconds of start time. If your car doesn't start in 20 seconds, your car probably needs some work. This is actually probably doing this old Jeep some good. It's actually pumping up some oil pressure. Alright, it's at 50% right now. I'm going to do one more session of 10 seconds here. See if we can hear a change or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boy, that thing whips it over. Still says 50%. I'm going to call that a success. I mean, that's 30 seconds of just pure starting. Like I said, that should be enough starting right there to power up, to start 10 cars. Now, one thing this thing will do is it will shut off after 3 minutes on its own. Oh, we got something else I want to try. Like I said, this was a completely dead battery. This battery has absolutely no juice left in it. Let's go try something else. Alright, we're going to start the trailer tire test. And reason I call it the trailer tire test, because trailer tires tend to hold more air pressure. Like these will operate at 50 psi, which is 15 pounds heavier or higher. And this is a good sized tire still. I mean, it's a 15-inch trailer tire. So that's going to be a little more volume than the other tires we just did, plus more pressure. So let's go ahead and see how long it takes to pump this tire up to 50 psi. I've already set the gauge here to shut off at 55, or at 50, 50. So let's get a start and see what happens. 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Not bad at all. 50 pounds. Actually, it clicked over 51 according to the gauge there. But keep in mind, when I started this thing, I just brought this straight over. Well, everybody, listen to me now and hear me later. We're here to pump you up. I couldn't resist. Some of you might get that reference, some old Saturday Night Live skits. Anyway, this thing came straight over from the jumping. It's got some warmth to it. This thing got a little warm. But it was doing a lot of work. Anyway, I didn't break the 10-minute mark. It filled up a trailer tire to 50 PSI. Fantastic. It started, when I left over there, the thing said 50%. By the time I brought it over here, aired the tire down, and then put the air, or then hooked it all up, this thing was back to saying 75% when I started it. It is currently saying 50% still after airing up that tire. That thing would go over there and I'm guessing would jump some more cars if you needed it to. Anyway, this thing really has impressed me. I guarantee you I will have this with me on my boat, on my car, my trailers. You know, I'll have it with me just because. You know, it's nice to have, think about it this way. Even if you had a spare tire in your car, how often do you check the air in your spare tire? Some of them are a real pain to get at, and you don't usually check your spare. And then all of a sudden, it's 5 years later, and you need to use your spare tire, and guess what? It's half flat. So you're not going to get very far in a half flat spare. But if you have this with you, guess what? You can air your spare up to the recommendations it says on the side of the spare tire, and you're off, not risking life or limb to trying to get home after you've blown a tire or had a flat. The other thing I want to remind people of, when it comes to these jump packs, you want to have one of these in your car, period, anyway. Here's the other reason why. These cars that are built nowadays have very, very sensitive electronics. And if you're going to jump on another car that has a bad battery, as far as you know it has a bad battery, they can have something severely wrong electrical in their system, and you go to hook your jumper cables up to your car and their car, and whammo, whatever's gone wrong in their system, possibly, will backfeed right through into yours. And next thing you know, you've got weird dash lights coming on, wondering why this is happening, that's happening, and that's because you've introduced the wrong electricity to your car via a jump. Now, the nice thing about a jump pack is it is clean energy. It has no ulterior motives, so to speak. It is worth having one of these in your car just to protect your own car. Not to mention you could help somebody else out, and it's a lot less risky than trying to hook up two batteries to one another. Main simple reason is you don't know what's wrong with that battery. You don't know what went bad, and if somebody accidentally hooks something up backwards, whammo, things could go horribly wrong in a quick hurry. Anyway, this one seems to be, it passes my test. I give it a thumbs up, no doubt in my mind. This one here, these are worth it. They are definitely worth it. Just the simple fact that I could go anywhere on my property and air up a tire or jump a battery if I need to. You know, my lawnmower dies for whatever reason. Batteries go bad. And they can go bad without any warning too. All the plates in there, the lead plates and stuff can break loose. Something can break loose, and next thing you know, one loses connection, your battery's toast. Guess what? Now your car won't start. The cool part is your car will start. You put a jump pack on it, because then once it starts, it's running off the alternator. And the battery's just, you know, the battery's like a big electrical shock absorber. Basically, you drain some out of it, you give some back. You drain some out, you give some back. Until it's bad. And then it's not a shock absorber, but your alternator will get you home. So, the JF EGWO jump pack / built-in air compressor is a winner. I definitely will probably purchase a couple more of these. That's how much I like these things. And that's how much this thing has proven to me. And I tell you what, this isn't lightweight. This has got a little bit of heft to it. You can tell there's something substantial inside this box. No doubt about it. And this is a model CS02. Well, folks, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. I hope you get out there and get yourself a jump pack and an air compressor all in one, because you'll find out someday you're going to need it and you're going to go, wow, that's amazing. Call one tow truck, call one something or another, because you either needed to change your tire and it was flat and you didn't have a good spare, or you needed a battery jump. And this thing will pay for itself one event. Unless you're going ahead, unless you have AAA or something like that, where you're dealing with somebody, waiting for somebody to come get you. But come on, where's your survivalist instincts? Prep, be prepared. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. We'll see you on the next video. And the next video, I promise, will be boat related, because parts are starting to show up. And I need to get my big Starcraft back together. This is Michael, and I'm out.